All right, so today we are here to talk about the Cookie Monster. And I don't mean the old Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. I'm talking about a proverbial Cookie Monster. Before we get to him, I wanted to talk about some of the recent news that we've been seeing here lately. In particular, all this corruption that we're seeing in Minnesota, Minneapolis in particular. You know, I think for a lot of people, especially as of recently, we're recognizing that there's a lot of corruption up at the very top. At the highest levels, there's absolutely corruption. I don't think many people still deny that today. But I think for a lot of people, it did stop there. And they never really realized that that corruption has trickled down through to even the state level and even further down through to the city level. And I can assure you that it has continued to trickle down through even to the most smallest of local levels. You know, the town that's near me that I grew up in consists of about 3,000 people. And I'm telling you, there is absolutely corruption even in the smallest of these local systems, okay? Why? Because as much as they'd love you to believe that they are doing it as public service, there is self-interests, personal interests involved. That's why these people take these positions, not to be servants, okay? And although there might be a few good apples out there, not many. Not many. I think it's safe to say that this corruption has permeated all of these systems. And for some reason, we've just accepted that this is a byproduct of having these systems. But I don't think we should be accepting it at all. Especially at a time when people are struggling, you know, to keep their head afloat. And they feel like they're constantly swimming upstream and they just can't get anywhere. You feel like you're just, you know, clawing your way and you just can't get ahead. It's a shame. It really is. Especially when you find out this now. I mean, that's pretty disheartening to find out that while you're busting your butt earning your hard-earned money, they're taking some right off the top and then they're just divvying it up to all these people that don't work and handing it out to them, and you're just supposed to accept it as part of the way this whole thing works. No, I don't think that's fair, and I don't think we should be accepting it. And if you're somebody that disagrees, then this probably isn't the video for you. As much as I'd like your views and your subscriptions, I'm not going to waste your time. But if that is you, I'm with you. And it's justified. And you should feel that way. Because it's not right. It's not right, and something has to change. And you might be saying, well, Brad, that's a blue state. I live in a red state, so I don't have to worry about that. Oh, but you do. Oh, but you do. See. Because it just so happens that you have a red administration in power right now. And that's why the light is being shown on the darkness of the blue. But if roles were reversed, rest assured that it would be the other way around. Because corruption is everywhere. And you need to understand, this isn't about right versus left, blue versus red. This isn't anything like that. But rather, from the top down is where this problem is, okay? And you might be saying, well, they're exposing it. They're gonna correct it and take care of it. Do you really think that? I mean, honestly? Yeah, they may try and shut off a lot of the funding, and, you know, some people in that community may come to justice. But what I'm talking about is these elected officials that facilitated this corruption and lined their pockets in the process. Do you think justice will ever show up at their doorstep? I don't. not confident one bit that any of those people will ever come to justice for what they've done. And we're talking billions, if not tens of billions, if not hundreds of billions of dollars. Meanwhile, you continue to scrape by. And so what can we do about it? If they're not going to do it, the system is a monster. Hint, hint. Just for later. Hint, hint. So what can we do about it? Nothing, because it's such a big monster. There's nothing we can do about it. No, there is. There is. But we need to understand that we can't put our trust and expectations of that in that same system. It has to start here on the individual level and on our local level. That's where we start. And it has to start with us. And so let's talk about this cookie monster. I'm not going to say who it is, but just keep in mind this is an analogy now. And so who do you think, by using your imagination, that cookie monster might be? If you had to take a wild guess. I think it's pretty self-explanatory who it is. Well, what else do we know about this cookie monster? Well, he's a grouchy old monster, especially when he doesn't have his cookies. I think I remember that. He loves cookies. Needs them. Thrives on them. Gotta have them. Okay. And now that we have hopefully established that, what are the cookies? Well, the cookies are your money. And just like the cookies, how they have a recipe that consists of ingredients, well, so does the money. And let's talk about some of those ingredients. What are they? Well, that would be your labor, your sweat, your effort, your hard work, your time, most importantly, your life. And let me remind you, you only have one of those. So as we scrape by endlessly trying to obtain this thing, never actually getting it, old Cookie Monster over here, he's just tearing them cookies up. And he's handing them out to all his buddies on Sesame Street. And you're lucky if you get to nibble on a crumb. You think that's right? I don't. And I think that we need to understand that this isn't going to stop here. This system is broken, and it's broken beyond repair. The only fix here is to starve the Cookie Monster of his cookies. Because without the cookies, there is no Cookie Monster. First, we need to understand these things. We need to understand that if we want change, we need to understand that it starts here. It starts with us. And so, that's my message here for you today. That we do have control over this thing. And if you are absolutely sick of the struggle and you are tired of playing these games, stop putting your trust in the corrupt system to fix itself, because it's never going to happen. Instead, put your trust in yourself. Because as we make these changes on an individual level, then collectively things begin to change. That's how we begin to take control of the reins. And so if you'd like to hear more about how to do this, now that we've established the Cookie Monster theory, there'll be another video coming out here soon. It may be in this video if I have time to get it out. It'll be somewhere linked here above. If not, please like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel, and that way you will be notified as soon as it does come out, because this is well within our control. Need to take away those cookies. Casper's out. So see, this is the name of the game, people. And if you are fed up, then you need to realize that this system is never, ever going to change. The only thing that's going to change it is the thing that built it, and that is consumerism. It started with industrializing everything, right? And mass producing everything. And then what did that lead to? It led to consumerism, and that consumerism is what led to this. Well, now what it's going to require to tear it down is something that's called anti-consumerism. And that should be all of our goals in 2026, especially when we get to start the year off with this fraud staring us right in the eyes. What are you going to do about it? You're going to rely on this system to fix itself? Are you really that naive? Come on. There's only one way to fix this system, and it is to starve the cookie monster. And this is how we do it.